and welcome to the Sweaty the Farmer and the Game Design. We have a 40% unique to this century discount. The eternal banana that you can eat forever. This is episode number 23 in the Steps of Giants. I am the London Gamer as the Sweaty.
And I am Lucho the Farmer. Thanks for joining us in this episode. This week we thank our Lord in the sleeping city.
But before that, let's take a look at this week's news. We have big events canceling because of coronavirus. First Monster Hunter movie posters has been revealed. And the new Borderlands 3 major expansion coming on March 26th confirmed. So, coronavirus, my friend. It's been everywhere.
This is the zombie apocalypse.
It's the zombie apocalypse. It's funny because I watch a video. No. It's even more lame. I watch a YouTuber I watch a Twitch streamer watch a video about a coronavirus. And it was like they were like analyzing the statistics of all the diseases that's been in the history, and it's not that bad. Like the thing is because it's a flu, is highly contagious, but it's not like in terms of killing people, it's not that bad.
I mean, it's not good, but it's not that bad. Like I think I heard the mortality rate now is like 1 or 2%.
Yeah, it's 2.2%. It's like really tiny compared with like SARS and MARS and like Spanish flu and all those things that have like 10% mortality rates, something ridiculous.
Yeah, but this is the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, and like they compare it with swine flu, which was the other one.
Yeah,
with what is spreading at the same speed, and the mortality rate of swine flu was like 0.4%.
Yeah, but it's still like there's a huge difference between 0.4 and 2%.
Yeah, of course, but
it's thousands of times more deadly.
But I think it's like high. Of course, people don't want it to spread because it's a flu. But like, if it was something that like ultimately kill you, will be at least more exciting. But it's just a flu. It's a dangerous.
Yeah,
flu.
but the problem is that the real problem is that they don't have full treatment right now.
Yeah, that is true. That's
the problem, and
so
as the virus travels around the world, it mutates and it becomes resistant to different
to normal, like to the treatments that they're doing now and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So you have to figure out an effective treatment for the virus
before it mutates and actually start to killing us all.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So we have two big events canceled because of it. And I don't remember the last time that this happened. I don't remember if for the swine flu there was any cancellation of events happening.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh, GDC got cancelled.
Yeah, GDC got cancelled. Well, it didn't get cancelled. It got postponed to summer.
Yeah.
To get like more time. But it's almost kind of like canceled because it's a tradition to make it in this time of year. And this is the time of year where the majority of developers are not rushing to or not in a super crunch of development, etc., etc. So maybe that's going to affect a bunch of like already paid trips and etc. and all the things. And it's a shame because GDC
it's probably more that than anything else. Probably a lot of attendees already had booked flights and
it's a very low key but great conference.
It is not that low key.
Well, it's quote unquote low key, but it's a great conference.
I never thought of it as low key. Like they don't do announcement, but
yeah,
they talk about interesting stuff.
They do all the time, and we and showing off like technology and like the thing that we're gonna do today. They tend to do it in the GDC, the lessons for the industry. As part of the show, but yeah, so that has been postponed to summer, and the Online Fan Fest got canceled. That one got canceled. So the conference, yeah, the expo for Evil 9, like TennoCon and like
Yeah,
ExileCon, which is the other one, got absolutely canceled because of it.
that probably makes sense because it's probably a smaller event and it's
Yeah.
harder for them to book the avenue again any time of the year.
Yeah, that's the difference between them and the GDC. So, oh my god, but it's a shame that this conference got like absolutely canceled. Uh, at a time. And the thing is like the virus happened in the worst, like in China, where they have like this very uh, very secretive type of government. So we don't have like real information in that kind of slow down the process of like finding a cure, etc., etc.
Yeah.
There's been one of the like real like big problems of the coronavirus because of the nature of the Chinese government. It's been very slow process to find out the cure, get more samples, like share the information with the scientific community, because everything has to be approved and double stamped by the government, and they don't release figures, and that skews the results and investigations.
Yeah, that's true. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, indeed.
You can complain as much as you want. I don't think that's gonna change anytime
Yeah.
soon.
So it's a shame for Eve because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's a real shame.
I remember that they did one of this in Melbourne one time.
That's a shame because people won't get refunds on their bookings
Yeah, because they're not
and
that big.
stuff. So it is less
Ah, but they do,
like
they
for
do.
JC. Usually, the companies are paying for that.
Yeah,
So yeah, they lost some money, but they're just companies. For the community events, like people use their savings to attend those, and that's the thing that is.
yeah. But fortunately, Eve was a responsible. Like the guys doing the Eve were very responsible, and they canceled it like one more before. So a lot of people have been able to like refund their
Yeah,
hotels and that sort of stuff. So
yeah, but that's not the case for. It depends. Like if you're going to a hotel or Airbnbs and stuff, like they have policy cancellations. You
yeah,
may not get all the money.
you always get like a little bit loose on
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna get at least for airfares. You'll have to pay cancellation fees and stuff.
Correct.
So
And then
that's why those community events are. I feel more for those
yeah,
than not like just industry conferences. Where like yeah, companies will handle it and they will lose some money on that. But fine.
yeah, yeah. But it's a shame for the Eve guys.
It is
Because
that's a real shame for the
yeah,
community.
imagine if that happened for the TennoCon. It would be like something like that.
Yeah, that will be rough.
Yeah, super rough. And like I was just seeing a little slideshow here on the news, and it's like people are panic buying toilet paper in Japan because of coronavirus.
Yeah,
Toilet paper in
this is
Japan disappeared because of the virus.
this is the zombie apocalypse.
It's a zombie apocalypse. Well, Godspeed to the coronavirus. Hopefully, either kills us all or not at all. So there you
Yeah,
go.
but do it fast, please.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Do it fast. All right. In more bright and ridiculous news, we have revealed the first posters for the new. Oh my god! I closed it. Where is it? Why did I close it? There you go. We have the revealing of the first posters for the new Mila
It looks
Djokovic
so
headed
bad.
Monster Hunter movie made by the guy who did all the Resident Evil movies. It's the same
It looks
director.
so bad.
And I kind of feel I wonder if he's like if he loves Mila Djokovic or if he is his boyfriend slash husband or something like that, but he keep casting in these movies. And don't get me wrong,
Uh,
she's a decent actor, but it's weird
no, it's just, I mean, it is pretty common for directors
to like recast people to like have
to
favorite
like
actor.
they like to work with certain actors,
Fair
and
enough. Yeah, maybe that is it.
that's pretty common in the film industry.
Yeah, and these
Like for all
movies.
directors, they have like preferred sets of actors that they
Yeah,
like to work with.
and this movie's coming soon, September 4th.
That it just looks bad. I don't know.
But look, this is like the Bond sword, the big ass sword in Mila Djokovic, and she's a big lady.
I'm not saying.
And look, the bomb ball looks, at least the visuals, at least the practicality of the effect looks like the game one.
Eh.
But the tone of the movie, the all like the color dried up and that sort of stuff. No, please. Like Monster Hunter World. Surprisingly, is a very colorful game.
Even the old games are like super colorful
Yeah,
and
and this looks like
vibrant and
greenish smush,
yeah, this is
gritty stuff. And
like an
like,
orange
yeah,
green
hopefully.
palette mush all turned down.
Yeah, and where are the monsters?
Really?
Why are you showing me people? I want to see a monster.
Oh, because they have they have. When is it released? September. They haven't rendered any of the monsters. They are still rendering.
They're still rendering. People are praising the thing because of the design, like the sword and the bow. They're pretty like tied to
I mean,
what the actual
sure,
weapons are.
that's fine, but that's
But I insist.
like this movie is like what's gonna make it or break it are the
Yeah.
monsters, not the
Yes.
weapons.
Yes, the monster has to be absolutely gorgeous, man. If not, don't even bother.
And they have to reflect the experience that people had with the monsters in the games.
Yeah.
That's
Do you mean like certain monsters are super annoying to kill and have this
no
behavior?
like you cannot go around and like petting a great jackrass or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be fun. But okay.
It'll be fun, but it's not.
It's not the
It's
thing.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. They have to respect the material in some way. But yeah, I don't like the coloring of this.
yeah.
Hopefully, it's not the
The
final.
color palette that they chose.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the
weren't
final
so-
like color photography and the game shine, because I insist the game is super colorful.
Yeah, I'm looking at like another news site, and yeah, I'm a little worried about that. Like, let me give you a. I put a link for you to. They have some photos.
Some
apparently.
photos from the actual
Shooting, maybe,
yeah.
or at least photo sessions for the movie,
Let's see.
because that color grading looks awful. The one in the poster.
Yeah. Let's see on the Gizmon. Is Mira Djokovic using like dual swords in that picture?
It seems that in that photo, it seems that she's using
Dual swords,
dual
right?
swords, and the guy is carrying both the great sword
And the
a
bow, which makes no sense. You only allow one weapon, sir. One weapon.
I like the little detail that she's carrying the slinger thing.
Yeah, they have
slinger
the.
shot.
Yeah, that's cool. The slinger shot is cool. I wonder if they saw Iceborne with the slinger shot moves.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know.
That's probably too expensive to.
Well, I will say that this looks better than the posters in terms of colors.
Yes, but it's still on that like brown.
Yeah, for
shades.
the design of the brown shades. It's because you like this is the first. Like, it's funny because this is ridiculous. This is the first armor that you have in the game, and you don't last with it like an hour max.
No, but that's the
It looks like the
you see.
bone or
No,
the
you see
basic.
that's the problem of making movies out of video games.
All right.
That they cannot reflect really the progression. Like you cannot have a ridiculous looking armor set
At the start, because
on the on the main protagonist.
well, hopefully, yeah, of course, but hopefully they showcase them in others characters.
Yeah, that's probably maybe as background characters, but
Yeah,
that's not. They're not gonna showcase that.
that would be nice if they have a gardening hub with if they're part of the company, then there will be more hunters around, right?
Sure, but
And if
but
they
even if they are
showcase,
as background characters,
yeah, and if they showcase at least the color of the game and the difference in the armors and that sort of stuff
nah, that
in the other hunters, I'll be at least fine with it.
but that's not gonna happen. It's too much effort for too little gain production wise.
But that will
Because
make
making the
it cool.
customs is not cheap,
Yeah. All right.
and just to
So
have them as background may not be worth it.
fair enough. So you think
May not
like
be the smartest allocation of money and time.
making the monsters good?
Yeah, that's
I think
probably
that
more
would be.
important. So, but that's the kind of thing that I was saying. Like, they really won't be able to showcase like the progression of the characters in the movie,
Yeah, no. What do
because
you think?
it also doesn't make sense like in game lore. Like while you're playing the game, you change armor pretty often, but I assume that that's something that happens in a long period of time. So you kill one monster and then you spend months carving it and taking parts apart to
To make the actual, yeah, I
yeah.
imagine, yeah, that the process to make a new armor is kind of
It
it
takes
requires
time.
more things. What do you think is gonna be the plot?
I don't know. New hunters lost in the desert. That's
Are we gonna have a Senojiva situation or
no,
something like that?
of course not.
Or what is gonna be the plot? Are we gonna hunt like an elder dragon or something like that?
No,
Or are we
of course
gonna
that's
this?
not gonna happen.
Or maybe we're gonna go to a new world. That would be more plausible, I guess.
Yeah, but that the community wouldn't like that, I guess,
Okay, fair enough.
because they still probably wanna just pick like one monster,
Yeah.
like like your poster boy. Who would it be?
Probably if I'm gonna put a monster that is gonna be a poster boy, I'm gonna probably put I'm between. I would like Nergigante, but Nergigante is a little bit too much.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but I'll probably realistically put like either a Ratian or a Ratalos or an Enginet. But the thing about the Enginet is
Probably.
probably not because it will be too much Jurassic Park like. So I'll probably put a Ratalos.
Which could be fine. Like that's
Yeah.
if they take the proven approach of a Jurassic Park like thing, maybe. But yeah, basically, I will assume that the plot is gonna be we're gonna hunt
No, no,
this
no.
iconic monster for the first time.
No, no,
So
no. The plot is this. There is a summary in the Gizmodo thing that you sent me, which says, "Behind our world, there is another, a world of dangerous, powerful monsters that rule their domain with deadly
yeah,
ferocity."
I'd read it. It
You
doesn't
read
say
it?
anything.
So it's a alternate world kind of plot where you're gonna take real people and put it into the into the Monster Hunter War place.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's still like Monster Hunter. It's not all the people. It's all the monsters.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
So, like aside from that description that says nothing, it's probably gonna like pick a poster boy monster like an engine and not an engine, like a Rattalus or a Ratian,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be about hunting that and doing the whole research and maybe going to like a jungle like environment and encountering like the mini Jagras
And
things
that's it.
and like doing the research and maybe fighting one of the other big monsters. Maybe I come across a, I don't know, a Pookie Pookie
Yeah. or a Jagras.
or a big Jagras or
Yeah.
something like that. That's what I would imagine is about. But again, it's gonna be hard because the games are mainly about the monsters more
Yeah.
than the people themselves. Like, yeah, there's the civilization thing and technology and weapons and stuff.
I wonder how
But
much
that's
of
not.
that. I wonder if we're gonna get like glimpses of the actual lore of Monster Hunter World, like of the companies and the star and the surrounding lore of the world. Because it looks like not. It looks like it's gonna be like, oh, this weird world where there is a dude who knows how to make like monster weapons or something like that. That's what it's looking
I'm
like.
more okay with that than with them actually exploring the lore of the game.
Really?
They shouldn't showcase all the lore of the game.
So they shouldn't showcase like the companies and the
No, why?
star
Like that's
legend
give me a good reason for that. Like from a movie perspective.
from a movie perspective. Yeah, it would be too much exposure, too much explaining. It would be
Yeah,
too much explaining to
it's too,
do if you don't do it smartly enough.
but there is no way to it smartly enough. It is a World of Warcraft movie problem.
The World of Warcraft movie, bro. Oh yeah, okay.
You see, it has an interesting world.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
there is a freaking ton of lore behind it. Yeah, and they tried to showcase some of that,
yeah,
but they fell into this trap of a lot of talking and explaining,
yeah,
and that feels for a movie like that. That feels fake.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's forced like exposition. So that's what I'm saying. They don't have to. They shouldn't go into that. Oh, the commission and the
Yeah.
star and the thing because that really doesn't matter for the movie.
Yeah, yeah, and it's fine in a game because you have the time to flesh it out,
Yes,
but
and
in a movie,
that was my we talked about this before, but that's my whole point of
yeah.
why
But then I
you
will,
cannot realistically make a good movie out of a video game.
yeah, yeah. But I would like then at least for them to showcase more than two monsters, and
I
like,
I, I, I wouldn't mind it if the way that it is done. If it is like I'll rather have two well done monsters than four kind of meh.
all right. But you have to at least you have to at least reflect a part of why the game is so good. Like at least make feel the environment lived in and that the monsters live in the
Yeah,
environment, right?
I agree, but that's what I'm saying. Like let's put it in terms of Jurassic Park.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like the movie, like the old movie.
Yes. Yes. Jurassic
The old
Park.
movie was basically people running from like two big dinosaurs.
Correct. Yeah.
But that was it. Like it was the big T-Rex and the little fast guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
yeah.
the core of the movie was two monsters and people in conflict with those two.
Yeah.
If this movie is something like that, like two well realized monsters
Yeah.
and like a interesting enough story around that, but the
Yeah.
monsters are like they have to be good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What monsters
Then
can
I
what
could be okay
couple
with
of
it.
monsters could serve as villains then? Because there in Monster Hunter there's a bunch of monsters that they're not that
Yeah, that's
mean.
what I'm saying. You have to pick one of the. I mean, you have to pick one of the faces of the game, and probably like the Ratty and Rathalos family are
Yeah.
part of that.
Yeah, it's difficult because if I think like a villain in the Monster Hunter world per se, I will say again, Nergigante will be like the perfect.
Yeah, the problem is that the game doesn't have villains
Yeah, no, yeah,
per
quote
se.
unquote in terms of like a movie thingy, right? If I would put
Yeah,
like a very menacing monster, very powerful one, I'll probably put as a big boss monster as like the big bad that they have to hunt or run away at the end of the movie or something like that in the climax. I probably and a
I think
gigant.
Ratian could work like that,
Like what? But I probably put like a Rathalos, which is the red
or a
one.
Rathalos. Like there is one quest at least in World where you have to do a bunch of
That's
investigation
the pink
things
Ratian.
to score the pink Ratian.
Yeah, there's a pink Ratian one.
So that could work.
All right, fair
in
enough.
that
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
That for a long part of the game, it was the big mystery monster, and he's kind of aggressive in game.
Yes, that is true. He's kind of aggressive. Yeah, he's kind of territorial. Yeah, but because I was thinking like a monster that is actually like very menacing on the game, like I would say like any like either from the Elder Dragons, I'll probably say like yeah, in that is not like way crazier to actually showcase in a movie. I'll probably
No,
say
I don't.
Negigante is like the closest thing from the Elder Dragons because and the other day it could be Bajasak, but the thing is that Bajasak is like super weird, but it could be a nice candidate, kind of a horror.
I think it's a bad idea to go into Elder Dragons. To be fair,
Fair enough. All right. Yeah. I see your
they
point.
have to keep it simple to see if it is gonna succeed. Like,
Fair enough. Yeah.
that's movies are successful based on the simplicity of the premise. Like,
All right. Yeah, I get you. So, which monster would you like at least to see in the movie?
to see
Yeah.
a Dogama would be super
I
cute.
don't know what would be the best.
Just like a background shot.
Yeah.
You know, like they are somewhere and then it appears from the floor.
Yeah.
That would be cute.
And it's rocks. It looks cute.
Yeah. That would be cute.
Oh yeah, a dodo. Yeah, that would be a nice one to see.
Will they have Palicos? It seems like they won't.
That would be. I don't know. They look like they don't have like in the pictures. They unless they're like rendered by the side. But the thing is, like the concept of palicos is a very Japanese kind of thing.
It is, but again, if you think about your experience in the game, the Palico is a big part of that
Super
experience.
central, yeah, of course.
So and again, that's why making movies out of video games is difficult because your experience it's hard to.
Maybe I think the best way that you can do it because of the way that the movie seems to be structured, it looks like more of a you fall in this other world which is chaotic and full of monsters. That is what it's like, right? I think the best thing to do in that case will be to showcase Galajacas as quote unquote palicos. Right?
Oh, I think the best way to do it is if they're ever gonna visit like a city town hub thingy.
Yeah.
Just to have them walking around as they are just in the game.
So just like the ones that if they have a like the things like I don't know if there's gonna be a town hub or whatever. Like it doesn't look like
I will expect it. Like if it doesn't, then it is what like
they're lost in the jungle or in the environments fighting monsters to get to some place.
Yeah, but that's not fun.
That is what it looks like. If I be maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm wrong, and that they have a town, but I don't know.
Just a little settlement. It doesn't have to be a town.
Fair enough. And that then if that's the case, then it will be like a good place to put the palicos. If not, then the Galajacas will be the second best options. To have the cats in the wild.
But again, the Galajacas are not the same as your Palico.
That is true. It's not the exact same, but it will be closest thing.
But it's close because not for the right reason.
Fair enough.
Like seeing a Galajaca running around is not the same. It doesn't evoke the same feeling as seeing like your Palico, or at least the Palico is cooking for you in a town or something.
I think it's like look at the tone of this movie and the visuals. They're very serious. You gotta put a talking cat in there.
It doesn't have to be talking. Like your
Well,
palico doesn't
the pelican
speak.
doesn't talk, but you can understand the cats, the pelicans technically.
Yes, but they don't speak.
Yeah, that's fake. That's true.
Like you can
That's a good
have them
detail.
making noises, like
Yeah, meow noises.
birds and
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
we will to September to see what happens.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
Again, hopefully is at least half decent. We're not at least the monsters look cool
I mean,
and
I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah. And for our last news of today, we have coming up the new expansion of Borderlands 3, which is about the wedding of Wainwright and Hammerlock.
Nice.
That is teased at the end of the game. Do you remember that he gave them a
Yeah.
ring? Yeah. So apparently something's gonna get because they're gonna do the expansion is named Guns, Love, and Tentacles. The marriage of
Yeah.
Wermy and Hemlock, which is very Borderlands. I love it. And it's about like kind of tentacle cosmic horror that something's getting released in some of the balls while they're are planning their wedding and all the activities subsequently from that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. These guys, the Borderlands 3 guys, are like on point with their stuff that they're doing. Very in game, very in universe. They know how to release stuff with all the overhauls, the legendaries, and all the things that they've done to the game. It's been really good. So I encourage you to check out the last expansion. It looks really cool for Borderlands 3.
It looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks really unique. It's a very weird way. It's very cool. This game does cool stuff. That's all I'm going to say. And
I agree.
of course, we have the reveal trailer here. So yeah, those are our news of the week, my friend. So now we move up to a deep dive. But before that, our disclaimer. Remember that discussion here is based on our own opinions and our own in-game experience. We try to double check the facts. And we open Wikipedias in case we're wrong, but is merge our opinions and stuff that we say here comes for the most part from what we play and we do in game, and we will have experience in game, etc., etc. So what we have today in the docket, Lucho. What are we going to talk about, Lucho? Tell me about it.
You tell me about it.
We're going to talk about what lessons should the industry have learned from World of Warcraft. This is our second episode about lessons that the industry should have worked, and funnily enough, it's another Blizzard game. They like to teach us stuff. They're like very good study cases.
World of Warcraft is definitely a good study case.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to see what the world should learn from World of Warcraft, because they've been trying to make another one for so long.
Everyone tried.
Yeah.
Everyone tried to make the next wall killer.
They've still been tried. What do you think like live service games is?
If anyone is gonna kill WoW, is WoW itself.
Yeah, it's gonna have to self-destruct at some point. But yeah. So, I think without further ado, start to discuss of lesson number 1, or the first in our docket, or whatever you want to call it. How to deliver a good pace in the content. With the advent of all these live servicing games and DLCs and expansions and microtransactions and yada 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 things everywhere, a very realistic problem is how do you keep your players invested, right?
Yep.
In the content that you're releasing, and how do you make yourself enough time to develop a good piece of content, right? So we've seen like every type of strategy under the sun, right? We've seen the Destiny model, which is every 3 months you get a season with tons of stuff to do and new items to collect and activities that come and go. Some stay, some don't. And we have in the other stream we have the division kind of content where they do small stuff for a long time and then want just one single raid. We have the Borderlands model still that they do DLCs every now and again. They don't have a super tight schedule for the those, and they're just like story based with things, and they stay in the game after their release, and you can go and play them. We have seasons too, which is the new thing that every game wants to do with like stuff that you do in a season, and then it gets disappear after the season of that. And then we have the WoW content, the WoW model, which is expansion every 2 years and 3 patches in that expansion, give it or take, right?
Evenly spaced, more or less, kind of.
Kind of evenly spaced, more or less, with like very different things that every patch comes in, and every patch comes generally with a raid kind content.
Yep.
And with items and power adjustments.
Yep.
Yes, I'm true.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
I mean the WoW cycle is basically like each expansion is gonna have like an overarching progression system.
Yeah.
And each patch is gonna bring something in addition to that to expand the progression for that expansion.
All right.
So if you think of BFA, the big thing is it's what the neck.
Yeah, the color, the
So
heart of Azeroth.
yeah, so you have this thing that is gonna it was or it is the big progression system of collecting asteroid power, and that was a constant throughout the expansion. And then each big patch had a different thing. So 8.3 brought the corruption, for example. 8.2 had all the content in Nazjatar and Mechagon.
Yeah.
8.2 brought essences, or 8.1 brought essences as well.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically the WoW model is they design one big piece of progression, and then in each big content update they try to add something to a mix.
Yeah. So my point in all of this is like, what is the correct like looking at it? They have a very good pace of delivering content to the players, right? It never feels too barren, and it never feels too much.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would not agree with that feeling. For example, for the current patch.
Why will you say that?
Oh, because I have read people complaining on for example, the visions being like they don't have enough variety.
Yeah.
So right now we are at the point where we can full clear a vision.
Yeah.
And basically the only progression that you get out of that is repeat the same thing each time. Like each run of a vision is the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So especially if you have a coordinated group of people, it is pick the same path, do the same things in the same order. You're gonna fight the same enemies.
But you have the mask modifiers, don't you?
Yeah, but the modifiers first, most people are not doing full clears with mask.
Oh, okay.
And the modifiers are just they just increase the health and and damage, and they add like some extra effect that you have to be aware of.
Yeah.
But that is not gonna change the way that you run the vision for the most part. You
Fair
just
enough.
have to be aware of the modifiers.
Okay.
But it's probably you're still probably gonna take the same path,
Yeah.
and you're gonna do vision in the same way. I have heard the complaint, especially from people who are saying like, yeah, like I usually do 4 or 5 visions one after another, and that feels boring. And then yeah, of course it's gonna feel boring.
Of course, it's a farm, it's a grind. What do you expect?
So I don't know. Like that plus 8.3. Aside from the like the weekly assaults and the stuff,
Yeah.
it doesn't have that much content to it. If you think about it, like
Well, we have visions. We have. Well, in terms of
we
content,
have
we have
visions,
visions,
we have the
the
Nilotic
raid,
invasions, and that's it.
and the raid.
As sure, and the raid,
Yeah.
but not everyone raids, and raid is not something, especially when you're doing progression, that like let's say that's not part of your daily routine.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
So I don't know. Some people have said that it doesn't have a lot of content, and I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't completely agree,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
my point is,
Your point is.
a lot of people would say that at least BFA hasn't been exceptionally good with the amount of content per patch.
Okay. All right. But I think the conversation goes to the point of like, for who are you pacing the game, right?
Oh no, I agree.
Right.
I,
So
I agree with that.
so the thing is, like, when you are doing, like, when you are planning a content drops, etc., in your like hypothetic WoW killer, you should be aware of what kind of audience are you gonna do the drops for.
Oh
Right?
yeah, absolutely.
What is your big, and that's the good thing about World of Warcraft, because the pace of the game is well adjusted for their main audience,
Oh no, I completely agree with that.
right? And that's my
They
point.
they know that their core audience is made out of working people,
Yeah.
and they do deliver content uh, well suited for that
All right.
group of people.
So
That is for sure.
yeah, in that point, then my question is like, if you want a long-lived game that is not necessarily competitive, because the only competition that exists in World of Warcraft is the mythic race, right? Should you not always
And
cater to that type of audience, that casual audience, with the pace of the drops and the pace of the game? Because at the end of the day, that is going to be the audience that's always coming back, right? A casual audience that can get some time in the night to play games, and he wants something that he can do and not feel behind all the time, and that he feels like he can progress, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So is that the lesson that we should learn? Then then the answer of, for example, the upcoming division or the Destiny model, well, where you every week has something to do, and if you don't do it, you miss out. And then if you're not hardcore and farm X things, then you don't feel like you're doing progress, because that's kind of the feeling that Destiny 2 has right now.
that drives away a lot of people.
Yeah. And that is good for like super engaged persons with the game, right? People who plays like all the weekend Destiny for like a lot of hours, and they can do all that content every week, and they have the time to sit down every week and play that, right? So it's like, it's not a casual audience, but it's kind of a middle, half hardcore audience, which is very good for like that kind of like accelerated things to do, right?
I think that end up taking off more people than what it actually retains as players.
I agree in the same. Like I got driven like I was happy playing like the last season with Shadowkeep of Destiny, even if like it's a shallow game, but I was happy of what the game was giving me, right? But as soon as season of the new season start, everything was weekly. So this week is gonna be like this thing, and you progress this quest and blah blah blah. And if you come back to play that content, is not the same. Or like this week you should invest and do the obelisk, because if you fall behind in that, the grind you have to do like a ridiculous bounty grind, which is the worst part of Destiny. So they decide to do all, the majority of the interesting content around bounties, which is the worst part of Destiny for some reason. I don't know why, but it felt like that. Like it felt like if you didn't play a week in Destiny, you were missing out on a bunch of stuff, and it never feels like that in WoW.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good approach.
Right, and it doesn't feel like that in the Division 2, for example. Right, if I go back to Division 2, the content of the second episode is all there, and I can do it at my leisure, and the content of the third episode is all there, and I can do it at my leisure, at my own pace. Right, and I'm not falling behind or anything if I want to do stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and this is where I get kind of worried for the new expansion of the Division and the pace of content that they're gonna say. Now the philosophy and the idea is like, we're gonna give you a lot of options, and don't worry if there's something that you cannot catch that week, because they're gonna have week content and seasonal content and leagues and all this stuff layer, right, on top of whatever is in Warlords. Is gonna rotate. It's gonna come back. All right, I'm okay with that. Right, I'm okay that I didn't catch this.
I'm okay with that. I'm not a big fan of that.
You feel like it's too much, right?
Not that. It's just that if I miss a week and I really wanted something that week, and I cannot play that week for
Whatever
because
reason.
life gets in the way.
Yeah.
Then it's
You have
that
to wait.
first that
Yeah.
feels bad.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait, and you're like you're playing with the calendar. That's boring, in my opinion.
Yeah. So they're gonna have that, but they're gonna have like challenges which they're supposed to be there, like league challenges for 2 weeks. So they're gonna have a bunch of
all of that is good. My only complaint is with that rotating thing kind of approach. That
for the weeks.
For me always feels bad.
Yeah. And they're gonna have the season, of course. Like if you don't play the season, then you're kind of like feeling like you're not doing whatever the game wants you to do. So the question is, at the end of the day, it's like because we've seen both extremes. We've seen like Division die down because too little content, and now they're gonna go to all the extreme of giving you a lot of content all the time. So where is the happy medium? And is WoW the example of a happy medium?
WoW tries to nail like a healthy middle point.
Yeah.
The community doesn't like it that much because
yeah,
it's just like the loud minority of people in WoW, the ones who complain in Reddit and stuff.
Yeah,
they're always gonna say that there is not enough content in WoW.
Of course, because they play 24 hours. I cannot imagine myself like playing WoW more than I already play, which is 2 nights a week and maybe on weekends.
Yeah, but right? that's the crowd that is gonna complain.
Fair enough. Yeah. They just
you know what crowd? The crowd that on week 2 of the visions are doing full clears.
I see. Like, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Let it rest, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Just walk away. Half an hour of the game.
Chill out. Go outside. see a
No,
tree
you
or
don't have to
two.
go outside. Just do something different. Like
Fair enough.
it's that crowd. Like that's and in my opinion, you cannot cater to that crowd.
Yeah,
That's
fair enough.
an unhealthy way of approaching
Content delivery,
content.
content pacing. Yeah, I agree to the same thing. I agree. I see why. I see why the need to cater to both, right? Because the loud minority is, if you have those people on the happy side, they're gonna do a lot of free PR for you, right? That's the reason. That's the main reason why to cater to those hardcore players, right? They're gonna go. They're gonna do your. You're gonna be your evangelist for a long time,
Fair. I don't. I
right?
don't. I don't. I don't think. Okay. Fair enough. I don't
Yeah.
think WoW needs that.
No, I don't think WoW needs that either. I'm referring to other, to like
Yeah, but
other.
that's. I feel like that's a short-sighted strategy.
Fair enough. All right.
Like sure, you're gonna get a lot of good PR for a while, but again, those people are gonna flow through the content super fast, and then they're gonna complain that there is nothing to
All right. All right. What do you think about like?
like you can
Yeah.
you cannot feed like there is not enough hours of development to feed that beast,
Yeah. 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 Fair enough. Yeah.
so you cannot cater to that.
What do you think about the season, the 3 month season strategy that everybody's acquired? Do you think 3 month seasons are good? I would like to be. I would really like
It
them to be
depends.
4 seasons. Like at the end, I would like to have an extra month. I think 3 months is. It sounds like a lot, but if your game has a lot of content, a lot of stuff to go through, maybe it's too little.
It depends on what content are you putting in that, like what amount of content are you delivering in that season.
In that, man, yeah.
And also, I don't think developers can realistically create new stuff every 3 months.
I agree to that too.
No,
It's too small of a
realistically
turnaround.
speaking, it's
Yeah,
too short of a window
yeah,
to do new things.
yeah. To do something really interesting. I agree to that.
No, like something more than just reskins of old stuff
Yeah,
and reusing old assets and old content.
yeah. I would
3 months
think
is not enough.
in that sense, I would prefer like a turnaround of 5 months, 6 months, around that. Give it a take, and with chunkier, more interesting stuff.
It is. It is hard, man. Like Warframe is the perfect example of not of delivery, but of
Yeah,
jumping between the extremes
yeah. All right, yeah.
and see how nothing works. Like
Like nothing works. Just forget it. You're gonna be.
no, it is like do you remember there was a huge content drought on 2019
Between, I think it was between the
or
end of the cycle
2018?
of Fortuna.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was,
like it was Fortuna release with all the things that Fortuna brought, and from there on out was like 2 frames and like adjustments. And
and
yeah, that
nothing.
was the
Yeah,
cycle, and there was the cycle where they're polishing because they were jumping to with Fortuna to jump to another graphics engine. That was the cycle where they were polishing all the problems and stuff and doing iterations of that, and they do the UI revamp in that window.
yeah, but all those
Yeah,
things are not content.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what happened in that year?
yeah. What?
They rebalance all the weapons in the game.
Yeah, yeah. I remember this. They did weapons 3.0 and melee 2.0.
They did weapons. They never really completed melee.
They didn't complete
Melee
melee.
came way before, like after that.
All right, fair enough. But they started
So
melee 2.0.
that content route ended on basically. It basically ended when they released the first Nightwave
Yeah,
kind of thing. That was between Fortuna and that Nightwave.
Yeah.
There was basically nothing more than a couple of weapons and frames.
Yeah.
And even the frames that came that window got delayed because of design changes and stuff.
Yes.
So, and that's kind of one of the extremes of you give the people a lot of content, one big drop of a lot of content, which
was
at the time
Fortuna.
was Fortuna.
Yeah.
But Warframe has had throughout his history like these turns arounds of giving update, like content update every week, every 2 weeks.
All right.
And people, like, I have heard complaints of okay, well the content drop was happening, it was yes, of course there is no content to play. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Even though they were doing all the rebalancing stuff, that's
and
still no content.
Yeah, even with the night waves, I heard that there was no content, right?
Yeah, I mean the night wave is a thing that keeps you coming back, and it's interesting too, but it's not real new content.
Yeah.
But again, the point is, like, they have gone through giving you content, basically new content every week.
Yeah.
To giving you content like once a year and nothing else.
All right.
I noticed like all the steps in between, like Warframe has gone through all of those.
Yeah.
And none of those is the right answer, because basically they cannot develop new content fast enough to give you something every couple of weeks.
Correct.
And just one big drop is unsustainable for the community, because they will eat up the content in a couple of months.
Yeah.
At best. And
so and what did you think about the Monster Hunter World kind of cycle? Nobody complained about it. Nobody complains about it, in fact. And
that's because
they have rotating quests and they have new monsters, which are their content.
Yes, but people, it's just a different audience. Like I guess people are okay knowing that at some point you're just gonna master all the monsters, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the game ends there.
When you have your ultimate build and you have farm everything that you want to farm and kill every single monster day.
But I have heard that people have complained that they should release more monsters more often.
So still there is no right answer.
There is no right answer. But think about it. Would it be nice to have a new monster every month? Of course it will be nice.
Of course it would be nice, yeah.
Will that keep people coming back to a game? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Is it realistic?
No.
Is it realistic for the developers?
No.
Probably not.
Of course not. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't think... I think there is a happy middle somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the happy middle is. I like the WoW turnaround of...
Yeah.
But that's probably because of my time disposition.
And it's funny because, like, I have had the same, like, I don't know how to explain this. I could have grind my face off of World of Warcraft in any points, but I don't feel attracted to like I do in other games.
Yeah, but you know why? Because the content is not going anywhere. It's not like it's not on that like awful rotation cycle thingy that if you don't do it now, you have to wait a month.
Yeah.
That's an awful feeling.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
it doesn't have that. Some of the content was time gated, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not going anywhere. Like,
yeah. So maybe
and it is time gated in I'll do it next week.
Yes.
That's way more realistic than no, it's coming back in a month.
Yeah. and I cannot like if I have a week where I don't have much to do, then I cannot go and consume that content because whatever is there is not there. So maybe the answer is like, don't give us content in these games. Don't use fear of missing out as a tool to engage players.
Yes.
I think that's the real lesson here, right? Try
Yeah,
not to
no, that,
use a fear of missing out to engage players. And that's the one thing that worries me about Warlords, that everything looks good, but if the turnarounds not they're not sufficient enough, of their of if the events don't require that much inversion in investing of time to do weekly, then it's gonna be like we're gonna have problems, right?
yeah. You know why? Also, you haven't heard of that many complaints in Monster Hunter, because you can jump into a game anytime, and you won't feel like you're missing anything if you didn't play it on lunch.
That is true. Generally, the only thing that you're missing are the special quests, but you are aware that they generally come back when the anniversaries or
And
the
as time goes on,
yeah.
they come more times per year.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
So
you know that and in general and they generally they time out for like big like weekends or big like vacation time or like
yeah,
big
like
free time.
summer
Yeah.
or winter
So they know that
break,
people
or
have the time to do all the content they couldn't do like back
yeah,
in the past.
but the content of the game is there. Like,
Yeah, it's
it's
there.
not,
It's there.
you're not missing
And that's the thing, like
really
the
anything.
the rotation, doesn't feel that bad, right? Because for example, one content that is rotated is what is the name? Kulturot, the
Yeah, the
siege,
siege. Yeah,
right? But we never felt like I was missing out every time that she came around,
yeah,
right?
exactly. If you can avoid that feeling, that's the
Yeah,
secret. That's
yeah,
why.
that's the secret. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can have like we're not telling you that you cannot have tame, you cannot have like certain times for quests and experiences, right? We're not telling you that that's not possible, but you have to avoid the feeling of like if you didn't do it now, then you're trash, right?
You know what games take advantage of that FOMO a lot? Uh,
What, gacha
like free to
games?
play gacha games.
Of course they do. because
Yeah, but
because the
that's
FOMO comes from like, oh, you can do it now and not waste money. But if you want in the
yes.
future, then it's gonna cost you money. That's a different hook.
It is a different hook, but it's the same.
It's the same concept. Yeah, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
same tool.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's the same tool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you have this event happening this week, and that's it.
Yeah.
and,
Which
and sometimes it is like you're not gonna get the things anywhere else. Like that's it.
yeah. And then the reason why they work is because you can later get it for money, right? So they
Yes,
technically
for the
are
most
not.
part.
Yeah, for the most part, you later can get it for money. So technically, are not like quote unquote disappearing at all. And when you get
Oh,
a gacha game, you know that that's the contract.
but don't get me wrong. It's still like I still don't like it.
Of
I'm just
course
saying
not.
that it
It's
happens
terrible.
a lot, and
I,
that shouldn't be
but
like that.
yeah,
Shouldn't be the norm at
my
all.
point is like that tool is more effective in those games because there is a money um there's a money pressure there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but in the other models of games, when the money pressure is not that high, it ends up like disappointing games, right? It's not disappointing the player and like saying
Yeah,
like,
but
wow, wow.
sometimes it feels like Destiny, for example,
Yeah.
is kind of moving that direction
Yes. 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 Yes.
of like abusing those gacha hooks.
Fortunately, they are aware that they release like they release a state of the game kind of that they do annually, the director's cut, and they realize that they're giving the players too much content at the same time, and that they're using those windows, and they want to move out from that because, of course, the player base this season was terrible.
Of course it was. Of course it was.
Yeah, because of that, because they were using that tool too much, and yeah, well, that then I think as a conclusion of this point is like the answer is don't use bad practices to keep keep your engagement on. Like, don't use fear of missing out and that sort of stuff, and try to feel the pace of the content to your broader audience, which generally are casual people, like more often than not. Unless you have a highly competitive game, if you have a highly competitive game, there's another different beast.
But even for those games, even for the highly competitive games, they shouldn't cater to.
They do cater to the most hardcore. So what they do is they have a very small and quick turnaround of things. So for example, in WoW, in League of Legends, the pace is like they release a new champion every 4 times a year.
Okay,
And
that's the
they
same.
have
That's the same release that
let,
Warframe has of new Warframes.
yeah, let me finish. And they have patch changes, which affect everybody, all the competitive thing, uh, every 2.5 weeks, give it or take. Which that
Okay,
moves the thing. And patch changes and balance changes are technically content in a competitive game because it changes your meta, right? And it comes new in and out. In terms of content, they have an event every 2 months.
let's make something clear. Even for a competitive game, balancing changes are not content.
Okay.
If that were true, people wouldn't complain of Overwatch.
They stop complaining because they start going like making changes faster. So there you go.
But it's still, like, balancing changes are not content.
Technically, no. Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like, okay, like, you change the hero you're gonna play. Cool.
All right, and then yeah, and on top of
It's
that,
not real content.
and on top of that, they do like 1 or 2 reworks throughout the year. So
Sure. Every game does that, more or
yeah,
less.
fair enough. Anyways,
That's not
the point
crazy.
is don't use try not to use bad practices when you're delivering your content, and try to cater to your biggest audience, which generally are casual.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's the lesson that we have to learn. But we're still happy that we're using fear of missing out in a lot of places in the industry. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Now the second lesson from World of Warcraft is something that every game as a service promise at some point or another, and is we have a truly ever changing and evolving world. Your choices matter over the world, and what happens and not happens over the world matter. Right? I feel like in all the other games that I have experienced, World of Warcraft is the only, even with all the controversy and stuff, that has truly delivered in this point. Like that have truly break the world halved, and and I'm referring, of course, the Cataclysm event, like changing like drastically zones, and and have like zones redesigned because of the players' events and that sort of stuff. That I refer. This was a promise that Destiny did at some point, that you were like gonna see a ever changing war and evolving thing on Destiny. Destiny base vanilla hasn't changed in like since release. Like the zones are the same, the lost sectors are the same, everything is the same. There's not even a hint of difference, even with there being a bunch of events into the game, right?
Yeah. You know that Cataclysm in WoW, like, it happened because they basically redid all the zones
Yes, I'm
at that,
aware.
like, for that expansion.
Yes, they redesigned a bunch of like old songs.
But not only for the, like, not just for the expansion, but for technical reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, and that hasn't happened in WoW that often. It happened that time.
Yes.
So, yeah, you could argue that WoW hasn't, like the low level zones are the same, more or less, as they were in vanilla, or Cataclysm.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so for example, Elwyn Forest.
Yeah.
It's been the same all like probably since vanilla.
All right, but it has but like there were songs that changed it because of that technical reason that I refer. That's my point,
Sure.
right?
Yeah,
And like
but
for example, Northern was in a region and it was done an entire region just for the
sure,
like.
adding stuff, fair
Yeah.
enough. But a
Yes.
lot of the old stuff, it's been the same
No. Yeah.
for
I'm more referring on this topic to not fundamentally changing stuff, but adding stuff and keeping it
yeah.
in the game. Right.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
point.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. That's my point. That's my point. That's that, and that's the lesson that that you should learn, right? And that's a lesson that, for example, Path of Exile knows a lot. They have a lot of seasons content every 3.5 months, and whatever it works, they keep it in the game in the vanilla game for forever. So if you play like vanilla Path of Exile, it has content from like 6, 7 leagues all intertwined into the system of the game, and just grow the game that way, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That makes an ever changing world. But if you see Destiny, it has some things added on, but the only like new songs that we have added on has been like super small, like Jupiter, and then we have the Moon as a big expansion, and that's
the
it.
moon was a big addition.
Yeah. But what I'm referring is like these games they leave traces of the changing nature of the game in some places in their old content, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that way you feel like the new thing has an impact in the world as a whole, right? Destiny doesn't do that. Like the fact that the moon appears didn't change how, not even a little bit, what kind of monsters um the appear on certain places, which will be interesting. If you have like a Vex invasion, it would be nice if suddenly in almost the majority of the places the Vex were present, something
Yeah.
like that, right? That will help to feel like the game, that something's happening in the actual world. All right, that's the lesson that they have to learn, that if you're gonna do a long live word, you have to learn how to like affect it.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to keep the world alive.
Yes, that's my point. And not all the games does this, right? The Division did it very good with the Black Tusk, for example,
Yeah, the black dust was a really nice touch. To be
right?
fair. Yep.
And that's the point. That's the thing that you have learned. If you're gonna do this, if you're gonna have a long live, please make the rest of the world, like even if it's small details, like uh, extra mob here and there, a little change of the hue of whatever skybox you're working at, like even these small details can make this world feel different, and that keeps players invested in, like making them feel that whatever is happening currently, it matters in the entire game world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So we agree that there.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. If you can keep the stuff, just keep it there.
Keep the stuff. And leave traces of like old stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Please do. Like, please do Destiny. Please. Learn these lessons in other games that want longevity. All right. To the next point. Learn to listen to your players, or what I call the WoW Classic lesson.
Okay.
So, how to take feedback correctly from a player base, right? So, what do you think? What do you think the WoW team
Ignore the
resisted?
loud noises.
Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think the WoW team was so resilient to not do WoW Classic?
Because they will have to maintain it and it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
You think that was the only reason?
And people are gonna ask for other expansions or more content for that game, and they basically don't want to do it.
So it was technically a Pandora's box. That's what we call
Yeah,
in the industry. It was technically a Pandora's, and with all that, it was a huge success, technically speaking, right?
yeah, but they like will still like once all the vanilla content is released,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. That's the real
That's a real
thing.
question on the horizon.
Like people are gonna stay entertained, kind of more or less, with the until like they finish Anchorage.
Yeah,
After that, there is like that's the end of vanilla,
correct.
and people are gonna start with the loud noises again. Give us Burning
Burning
Crusade,
Crusade.
or give us more content for vanilla.
All right.
Like give us new dungeons for vanilla, for example.
Okay. So what do you think about like listening to your players? Because the other side of
Just
this
don't.
is just don't
Be Capcom.
be
Don't.
Capcom.
No, be the guy with the walking simulator. What's his name?
The guy with the walking simulator. What?
The game about delivering packages.
The game about delivery package. What are you talking about?
There's this. It's a recent game that was super successful. It's about the delivery guy in a post-apocalyptic world.
So a delivery guy in a post-apocalyptic. Ah, yeah, Death Stranding.
That shit.
Yeah, Kojima. Yeah, there was Kojima production. Yeah.
Yeah. He never listens to players, so give a shit.
So what's the lesson here? Never listen to your players.
Yes. Do whatever you wanna.
Do whatever you wanna do. Then the question is like, when is feedback good to take? Like, as for example, as DA. DA takes feedback all the time.
Oh, they filter a lot of bullshit.
Of course they do. So how do you take feedback correctly in this industry then?
You hire a bunch of people to filter all the bullshit for you.
You hire a bunch of people.
That's true.
And that's it. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But I still like with all the
you hire a lot of shit sorting people. That's
cool. But I insist there's like instance where the player and the community base have good feedback and good constructive feedback and good ideas and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, all of that is hidden behind all the
poop
shit that happens in the forums and Reddit and.
So so the answer to this is like, please have a good community manager team.
Not even good, just a lot of people.
A lot of community manager team. I have a big team of community managers that sort your feedback for you and give you like actual things.
I'm not saying there is all the feedback is back and is bad. I'm saying 99% of the feedback is shit.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right.
That's all. That's what I'm saying.
So what do you think that they end up doing World of Warcraft Classic?
Oh, what's gonna happen?
No, why they end up doing it?
Oh, because money.
Because money?
Yeah. It was probably a mix of people want it.
Yeah.
And money projections.
Money projections. All right.
Those decisions are not based on what the community wants. Stop being so naive.
Stop being so naive. Oh my God.
Of course.
All right. Yeah, I believe
you. Like, they probably have a huge team of people working on that. They probably like with all the discussion that they had before the release of the phasing and the servers and the stuff.
Yeah.
They probably have a freaking ton of like engineers working on that, and
you know that they're hiring like more, right?
Yes, I know they're hiring more, but that doesn't mean that the team that is working on Classic is not big enough.
Yeah, fair
already.
Enough. Yeah.
So the question of are they gonna do classic or not is a question of can they make enough money out of classic or not?
All right. All right.
this,
So
this is a business. Okay, it's not.
yeah. It is.
So, and you cannot compare that business to this business because they have different business.
All right.
So why classic happened? Because it was gonna be good business.
It was
That's
gonna
the
be good.
reason.
It was gonna be a good business, even if the developers didn't want to do it.
Oh, like, I assure you, when vanilla is over, it's gonna be a shitstorm because you have the camp of people saying, "Oh, vanilla is vanilla. You shouldn't touch it at all,"
Yeah,
or the people who want
which
new
was the
content
point.
for
Which
vanilla.
was the point of doing vanilla, right?
Yeah, but not everyone agrees with that. or the people who want new content for vanilla.
All right. Yeah.
The people who want Burning Crusade or Lich King or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a non-ending discussion of what people want.
Oh my god. So what other part
Nothing.
of the industry can learn from doing this?
that it was a mistake.
Don't do it.
You'll see. Like I predict, there's gonna be a shit show once like vanilla content it's over.
It's over. What encourage? Yeah, and it's kind of looming over the horizon, right?
Yeah.
You can feel it in the air.
Yeah.
And it's like as I said in the beginning, it's like a whole Pandora's box that you don't want to open.
Yeah. and the developers who didn't want to open it.
Yes. And
like I'm pretty sure. Like I can assure you, the decision of doing classic was not from the WoW developer team.
Was a higher ups telling them,
yeah,
there is money there, do it.
Yeah. It was someone else saying there is good money there, you're gonna do it.
Oh my god. It's gonna be.
Do you really think the developers wanted to do it?
No, they have in every single interview they were no, you don't want this. We don't want this.
Do you think Ian Hasekostas wanted to do that?
No.
No, it's a pain in the ass. It's a complete pain in the ass. Why would you do that?
It's such a Pandora's box, man. It's like
gonna be a shit show when it ends. Like when vanilla content.
Yeah. I think then what would have been like the best solution for this, maybe, instead of like doing an entire
not doing it. Like
not
that was the solution. Yes.
Not even like make you like a special like server character where you can like
that's what they did. You have a special server when you have a recreation of vanilla.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's what they did. Yeah, there is no. Why is my Trade Kills Masters keeps crashing for some reason? I'm gonna close it. Quit.
Close it for now.
Yes. Anyway, so
the answer is don't do it.
The answer is don't do it.
It's gonna be a real shit show once vanilla ends.
We gotta report there, probably here. Talk about it. It's gonna be in the news. When does it end?
They don't want to do it.
When does it?
I don't know when. I don't know when are they gonna release.
Soonish when they're gonna release Anchorage.
Yeah. I think the event to open the gates. It's coming soonish.
Yeah, it's soonish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did their own cruise. Yeah.
Who do you listen to? To the ones who say no, vanilla is vanilla, don't add anything. To the ones who want new content for vanilla. To the ones who want Burning Crusade.
I probably like if I was
no one.
If I was Blizzard, and I reached the final of vanilla, I just leave it as is.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you shouldn't have done it from the beginning.
Yeah, I just like leave that die, like just yeah. But the problem is
Yeah.
like if the okra is big enough, probably the people are gonna say we can't resell Burning Legion. That's the thing, right? The money is there. We can resell an expansion that is 15-year-old, 14-year-old expansion.
I know.
They gotta practically resell the game.
I predict that they're gonna keep doing this forever and ever and ever, and they're just gonna have a game and a game 15 years behind. It's just the same game.
I'm gonna be the funniest shit ever, man. So it's like what then you gotta have like a community that is called like futurist, and then people in the past or classist or something like that.
It's just in 15 years, in whatever expansion we're playing in the retail in retail WoW, like people are gonna be asking for BFA.
BFA. Please bring classic BFA. It was such a good expansion. Don't change anything.
I have enjoyed BFA. Like, look, dude, I assure you, that's gonna happen for Legion. People really like Legion and Legion artifacts.
People really like Legion. That is true. Oh my god! Oh, this is ridiculous. We're gonna like resell the same game twice. Insanity, man! Insanity.
It could be even worse. Like they could have one game per expansion, so they have a pure vanilla server,
and then what? A pure Burning
Crusade, then a pure Wrath of the Lich King server, and then a pure Cataclysm, and all of those. Like, you see where I'm going? It's so stupid.
Yeah. And more like they're and like they're doing this change when you can so you can experience the expansion while you level up, right? You're gonna do that next expansion Shadowlands.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward for that.
So what is the point of having like
I don't know
that thing? Well, of course, most often than not, the answer is gonna be because of the money.
Yeah, it's not only because of the money, but like vanilla is like essentially a different game than retail WoW.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just different games by this point.
So it'd be funny if Blizzard starts to selling each expansion as its own.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
at this point it's like, and you and I have access to Classic, as I understand, right?
Yeah. We can get in Classic and slowly grind our faces against the leveling in Classic.
Yeah.
Not being able to fly.
No, thank you.
Having a lot of like actually really broken classes.
Yes.
Rogues being just OP in PvP.
Yes, I've heard this. Yeah. Anyways, so don't do it. Just don't do it. It's the lesson to the industry. Don't. I know that the money is there. I know that it's tempting.
Look, if the developer didn't want to do it, it was for a good reason.
Yes.
They probably know better than us what they are doing with the game.
Can you imagine it like, I don't know, 2 years, people asking for Destiny Classic?
Oh, that's but are there still people playing like Destiny 1?
Yes, there's still people playing Destiny 1.
Isn't that game like PlayStation?
It's Xbox One.
It's like 2 generations old, no?
Yes, now it's 2 generations old.
Just let it go.
Yeah, that's what they say about World of Warcraft Classic.
And I agree, let it go. I'm not playing Classic.
I say in general. No, I'm saying for you and me. No. I'm saying in general.
I played Classic a long time ago.
Yeah. When he was not classic. When he was.
When it was a game.
Yes.
It was fun, but let it go.
Anyways, moving on from the lesson that don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. The creators and still master of the raid-like content. I feel, and correct me if you're wrong, that so far has been the best raid experience that I've had.
That you have had?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's been the best raid experience that I've had in all the games that I've played raids in.
Yep.
And I think it's the best pace experience as a raid, and it's a big, like, inspiring content. And
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything close to it in other games that I play so far.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
What in the way that the WoW do the raids, how can we apply that to other games? How
That's such a hard question.
Yeah, how can we apply that to Destiny and Division 2, which are the two like that came in front? Even to Monster Hunter with the Siege of Kultarot, which is kind of like half of a big activity, kind of like half of a raid, kind of like one.
I like the Monster Hunter approach because it has its own flavor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I like that it is still community driven in that you have like these 16 group people all pushing toward the same goal, and you feel the improvement.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
But it is not like it still falls completely into a frame of
what Monster Hunter is when
what
you're
Monster
hunting
Hunter
a
is.
monster. Yes. Yes.
So apparently, I like their approach.
We haven't seen. We're gonna make a quotation here because we haven't seen the end game of Iceborne, which is apparently you go into a place and you hunt a bunch of monsters in a row, and we don't know if that kind of has like some of that approach. So
no, we haven't reached end game in Iceborne. We'll get there.
Yeah. Anyways, continue. So
I like that approach.
Yep.
The Destiny approach. Okay, let me say something in it. It feels like WoW was the first game that at least that it comes to mind that did this right thing right.
That's it. So we're gonna be done here. We're gonna like they did it right. They did it right. No, nobody else can do it.
They set up the pace for what a raid like. WoW is the thing that defines what a raid is.
All right. Yes. In that.
At least for us Westerner audience.
Yes. Correct.
And in that sense, if you honestly look at Destiny, what they're trying to do is capture that feeling that you get in a WoW raid, but for their game.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So you have these encounters full of mechanics.
Yeah.
And things that need to be executed.
Yes.
But for some reason, it doesn't feel as clean as a WoW raid.
All right.
You know, like, I don't know, when we did a couple of raids in Destiny.
Yes.
And I know, like, we were getting better as a group doing the thing.
Yeah, coordinating. Yep.
But I never felt like I was getting better at the encounter.
Oh, yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you do the WoW bosses, like raid bosses, it's the other way around. Like, you feel that you're improving in the things that you have to do.
Yes, correct.
And you realize that everyone is on the same boat.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And how the encounter is progressing.
Yes, correct.
But you feel like you are getting better with the thing that you are doing.
Yes, that is correct.
I never got that feeling of the Destiny raid. I don't know why.
Is it
I
is
cannot
it
tell you why.
is it because of the lack of roles?
I mean, it maybe, but not really, because I have only raid as as a range DPS in WoW. Like, I cannot tell you. Like that could have been true if I have ever tanked or healed in a raid
Yeah.
or melee DPS, but I have never done any of those.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I have only experienced them from one side of the of the team.
But you still got the feeling that the roles are important. That is my point, right?
No, for sure, the roles are important, but that's not what I'm saying. It's just that, like, even if I don't, even if for an encounter, I don't know what the healer is doing,
Yeah.
I still feel like I am improving.
Yes. All right. So maybe is it maybe that the Destiny encounters are too easy?
I don't know if they're too easy. I don't know if they're too. Are they too easy? I don't.
Uh,
They're
yes.
not that easy.
Well, for the most part, yes. If you can aim and has the correct loadout, killing everything is kind of like trivial,
Yeah, but there's the same thing in WoW.
right?
Like,
But
it's
in
the
a
same thing. Like, once you know the mechanics of the boss,
yeah,
it's easy. Like, you just have to execute it.
yeah. But I get the feeling that you don't have to be that aware doing a Destiny 2 raid as you have to be in World of Warcraft.
Maybe not. Maybe in that sense, you may be right. Maybe you don't have to be that aware of things around you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just that when we're doing, like, when we're learning the encounters for Destiny,
Yeah.
it just felt like I was always doing the same thing,
Yeah.
and that I was not really getting better at doing the thing that I was supposed to do.
Then what were you feeling that you just doing it?
That I was just doing it, and we're all kind of getting kind of good, like, as a group,
Yeah.
but not real improvement on my part.
As an
Like, for
individual, yeah.
example, when we were doing the big eye boss that had, like, that
The
wasn't close in a
color
cube, and
things.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
aim the color things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, from the first time that I did it to the time when we kill it, I felt like I never really improved doing anything. Like, I
Okay.
was killing the same monsters. The monsters were spamming. I was killing them. I was cleaning more or less the same.
Yeah.
I was jumping the thing, shooting the thing, but I never felt like I get good at that.
Maybe is it yeah. The only thing that I can like pinpoint in that is
But
like maybe the challenge wasn't enough or like
I
for a
don't, I don't,
person like in a personal level,
I don't
in an
know. But,
individual
like,
level.
but for example, with the Ilganot fight in the Nihilothar raid,
Yeah.
like, I felt like I was getting better at managing the laser, for example,
Yes. Correct. Yes.
and you could see it. Like, there was,
Yeah.
you could see the improvement. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. 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 You don't
And
live
you could
like
see,
long lines. You live like small patches. For example.
yeah, and you were finding, like, places where to
Yeah.
put it that it wouldn't affect other people as much.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
You were getting better. Like, you were actually thinking, okay, I'm gonna position myself here so that when it happens, and the timing,
Then
and
is a
between you getting that on the screen
yeah.
and positioning yourself.
So maybe it's a thing about individual mechanics because Destiny doesn't have individual mechanics if you think about it like that.
No, it has a lot of group mechanics.
Yes, it has a lot of group mechanics. So maybe it's that it doesn't have individual mechanics to be aware on top of the group mechanics. Is that maybe
Maybe,
too complicated for the Destiny thing?
I don't know. I don't know, but that, like, now that I have done both,
Yeah,
it doesn't feel as satisfying doing the Destiny ones.
not even close. Now that I've
You
been
see,
raiding with you and WoW, not even close.
there is a satisfaction of just in the WoW encounters.
Yeah.
seeing your own improvements and
Yes.
seeing how each time you wipe on a boss, it's getting better.
Yes. You
Like
gain
how
better
everyone
and
is following the thing. Like you
yeah.
see all the pieces falling in place,
Yes, correct,
and that is so satisfying.
absolutely, absolutely. And like for me personally, that's like is the thing. Like such a complex machine. Like it's gonna sound funny, but such a complex machine is working.
Yes.
Yeah, and like such, in like because of, I think it's in part because of that, because you not only have to be aware of the mechanics around you and the people around you, but you have your individual mechanics to counter with. You don't have that on Destiny. You just have group mechanics and kill things,
Yeah.
right? You don't have
Maybe.
like, oh, suddenly you're cursed, so you have to run and do X thing by yourself, right? Not that I can think of right now.
Yeah. Nothing comes to mind for me.
Yeah, and that
Also,
is just
encounters were not that memorable, to be fair.
yeah, and that's your responsibility, right? Because in raiding in WoW is like that. You have your own responsibilities in the raid. Individuals for like doing damage to the boss, and
Yeah.
right, you have your own responsibilities when you are in charge of this one particular thing. Like, oh, they're gonna target you, so make sure that for they're gonna fight, make sure that you
Yeah.
are putting the portal in a correct way, or putting it far from where you're gonna be standing next. That you, if you're being like targeted, then make sure that you're kiting the mob away from you into the group, on top of
Yeah.
like killing the monster, doing the other mechanics, be aware of like the explosion mechanics and everything else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Maybe that's it. I don't. I cannot completely
Like put your finger on it.
put my finger on what is the feeling, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
just for some reason wiping in Destiny doesn't feel like progress.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But when we're wiping while we're doing progress
In the WoW
in
raid.
these bosses in
Yeah.
raid, it felt like we were actually getting better.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
It didn't feel like a wasted effort.
I agree with that. What about the Division 2 raid?
The Division 2, that one is it's another one that it's too heavy on the group mechanics, but the group mechanics are not that complex.
Yeah.
I feel like that may be the problem, is that sometimes the Steam mechanics are too convoluted for the group
Okay.
and have
Yeah.
nothing for the individual, while the Division 2 ones are like a little bit easier to execute,
Yeah. But
but it's
individually.
complete. Again, it has nothing for the individual,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but the
Yeah.
group mechanics are a little bit easier to execute.
Yeah.
So it feels less punishing when you wipe, because it's like, yeah, we all failed as a group and we can improve better.
Yes. So it's funny because we put the division rate, for us. It felt better than the
Well,
the Destiny rate.
for me, it definitely felt
Yeah,
better, the
but
division rate.
it's clearly, yeah. But it has points when you have to like man a machine gun, for example, and that's your responsibility as an individual, right?
Yes, yes, for sure. And yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like not
I
all the
don't know.
time. It has little sprinkles on it. Like
No,
for
but
example, in
for,
the last part, you have two groups, the two people
yeah.
that are charge of like killing the big dude before he wipes the raid, and that's a two man.
No,
In fact, a
like
one man
on
thing,
that
right?
last encounter, you basically have two groups of people: the ones
Yeah,
who go into the circle
yeah,
and the ones who stay outside.
yeah. So you have individual like responsibility, kind of in a heavy side.
Yeah, it depends a little bit more on, are we all ready to jump into a thing, and then we all
Yes.
jump into a thing
Yeah. So
and
maybe,
do
maybe
stuff.
maybe that's the thing. Like you have to put enough individual responsibility on the raid to feel it, to make it feel compelling,
Yeah,
right?
maybe
Because Destiny
maybe
2
that.
doesn't do that. They just put a lot of group. mechanics all the time.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Maybe some of the raids have that, but
The
the
ones
ones
that
that we
we've
did,
done, I've done the last one, and we did the two old ones in half of one of those, right? In half of a big
yeah,
one, right? And for what we experienced, none of that has like individual. In the last one, you have a point when you go and collect modes, and then you
yeah.
bank them, and that's it in the entire raid.
Do you know where Destiny does that job better? In the dungeons.
Yes, the dungeons are so much better, so much more.
They're so much more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember that it was one of the dungeon or the dungeon in the moon where
Yeah.
like you have to stand in one place and go like kill some snipers and then go kill some things that drop a ball and put it in the thing
Yes. Yes. Yes.
that you
Yes. Yes.
have to rotate because it gives you a damage debuff thing.
Yes. Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that feels good because it's you have like you have an individual responsibility of okay, now you're the one who has to go and kill the thing,
Yeah.
grab the thing and put it back
Yes.
because other people have to be doing other stuff and it
Yes.
rotates and then everyone has to go. That feels better than
Then big group, big group
yeah.
coordination. Yeah.
Even the room that was the augers that you have to go through tunnels and
Yes, and be chased
yeah.
and distract them so the other person could run to the door.
But even that feels better than
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yes. 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 That the actual raids that we experience. Yeah. So maybe it's that. Maybe it's a little bit of like truly individual responsibility, right?
Yeah, maybe it's that. I don't.
And the other thing is like we understand why, and I was a thing that I was thinking about. Like I understand why the WoW rate has the pace that it has, that you progress slower than the other ones. But is that the nature of the games? That's not the point that
Yeah,
we're contesting here. In case you're thinking about it, like, oh yeah, the WoW rate is slower. No, we were talking about the feeling that it gives you to make the raid, which is
yeah.
something very ethereal. But we're trying to pinpoint it to why some raids feels better than the others, right?
Yes,
And
it
it's
is.
not. And I thought that it was a numbers thing, but it's not a numbers thing.
Do you mean the number of people in
Yeah, the
the?
number of people involved in the
No.
activity. It's not a numbers thing. I thought it was a numbers thing because the thing that impressed me more about the rates in WoW is there was like a bunch of people, and you're like, wow. But no, it's not. It's not about that. Definitely, it's not about that.
No, because our guild's red team is between 10 and 15 people.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it's not a numbers thing. But yeah, I think maybe we, because of our discussion, is the closest thing that we can like discern of what lesson is like. Don't be afraid of giving individuals responsibilities inside of raid on top of everything else that is done. Maybe that's the error of Destiny, that they want to be so casual in this sort of end game activities that they miss giving individual person responsibilities,
Yeah.
right? And that makes you feel very much involved into the raid, like so much involved into the raid that if you fucked up and you die, then it's your fault. And it's not. And when you miscoordinated, then everybody dies,
Yeah.
right? And the decisions that you make as an individual inside the raid affect everybody. If you misplaced something, if you didn't do a mechanic right, then there is a punishment not only for you but for the rest of your team.
Yeah. That's yeah. I just like that feeling of doing a mechanic wrong means that you're gonna.
Yeah, and not only that, but you can potentially punish the rest of your team,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it
That's the
is.
other
Of
thing,
course.
right? You can potentially punish, and it's not super like the interesting thing is like sometimes in Destiny there's like some mechanics that if you messed up, then they simply wipe or restart, or you cannot advance anymore. But in WoW, there's these places that you can mess up in certain mechanics, and the punishment is there, but it's not oh no, we have to wipe. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's not that
Yeah,
it is just like an immediate wipe.
yeah, yeah.
It is still kind of gives you a chance, like, okay, you could do it. It's not realistic, but you could still make it work.
Yeah.
It's not you did the thing, like the thing hit the wall and
Yeah.
everyone dies. It's not that.
It's not that. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And it's never that. It's never that. Like, never everyone dies at once. It
Yes,
just
yes, yes.
does damage and people die slowly.
Correct. Or like if there is a patch, so everybody's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or something like that. You misplace something and there is a problem of positioning or something like that, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. There is nothing like that in the Destiny raids. Like the Destiny raids that we figured out, like with the when we were doing the one with the colors, it's like if somebody didn't call up a wrong color, we all die, and that was it.
Yes, we'll die out of nowhere. It just,
yeah, exactly. That's
I
what I
see
mean,
what you mean.
right?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
All right. So the lesson here is like trying to do that, to try to give that place to individually proficiency inside this kind of content. That makes the magic, right? And it's curious because the proficiency from Destiny from the Division comes from your proficiency as a shooter player and as taking correct cover.
Fair.
And
Yeah.
positioning you correctly, right? And not taking much damage. That's where the proficiency, because the lethality in the Division 2 rate is super high,
Yes.
right? In Destiny, no, because you can mess up and be out of cover, but you can still survive by healing yourself or whatever thing, or jumping around and not in the Division. If you are like out of position, you generally get melted.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, you could make an argument that that's because of the type of shooters that they are. Like,
Yeah, too. Yeah,
Destiny is more of an action shooter in the sense that you just go shooting things around in the face.
Yeah.
The Division is a little bit more tactical, not
Yeah.
really, but like cover matters
Yeah.
more than really in Destiny.
And then I propose you a question that now that we know about these rates and we have experienced all these different rates. And we know that sometime in the history of Warframe there was a raid. But if I
never
tell
did
you,
them.
yeah, I know. But if I tell you, build a raid for the now living and with all the changes and with the philosophy of in Warframe, what will you do?
Yeah. Oh, that's a really hard question. I don't know. It's hard.
To begin with, how many players will you allow?
16?
Insanity! With everything that happens in Warframe.
4 teams of 4. That's
all right. That 4 teams of 4. That still sounds like insanity.
It is probably a lot of.
But I think I will. You know what my approach will be? I think I'll do a combination of the culture of siege.
That's the thing that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe Warframe could attempt something like the culture of siege and see how it feels for Warframe, because it could be the wrong feeling.
Yeah, that
for
is
the
true.
game.
Yeah.
But they could attempt something like that and see how it feels, because they could learn from that for sure.
I will start by then, and like if you're gonna do like a big thing, then I will do like 4 teams of 4, and they all start in different maps with corridors, and they do some mechanics inside those maps with corridors individually, right? And then when everybody gets there, they all fight. They all 16 fights against a big monster with mechanics, and that will be it. That will what I will do, right? To start gouging. What can I do?
It could be the problem is that the bosses in Warframe don't have that many mechanics when you think about it.
Yeah, I know. I will have to like be a very complex boss to do that, like with the stages and stuff.
Yeah, it has to have phases or stages or something. Yeah, it's really hard. Like, I know that one of the things that people didn't like that much of the trials,
Yeah.
it was that it was puzzle heavy, like had a lot of puzzles,
Yeah.
and you had puzzles in between the fighting phases, and people were not good at doing the puzzle thingy.
Okay.
Because that's how, no, it's because if you have done it before, it's super easy. If you
Yeah.
have never done it, it's super complicated, and there is no way to bridge those two things.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
That's the problem with puzzle-based encounters,
Yeah.
which is the same problem that Destiny has for me. That it has a lot of puzzling thingies,
Yeah.
and that if you know how it's done, it's super easy. If you have never done it, it's super difficult, and jumping that step is
Yeah.
hard.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But there is nothing that takes you there, and that's what that's another one of the reasons why I like the WoW raids, because they don't have that puzzle. They don't have puzzle component in that way.
Yeah.
Like all the progression is kind of smoother. Like
Yes.
you're learning all the things at once.
Yes. Correct.
That's what I mean.
All right.
So, if I were to do it for Warframe, I wouldn't do puzzle thingies
Fair
because
enough. All right.
those are just a pain in the ass for everyone to
You would do
and to
what,
teach.
like big ass sentient boss encounters with like a bunch of hats and mechanics inside those sentient encounters or something like that.
The problem is that they tried the lot of ads approach and
Yeah.
people didn't like it, which is the profit taker.
The profit taker, right? Fair enough. Yeah.
But people didn't like it not because of the ads, but because they proc a lot of trips on you. So,
all right.
so
yeah.
you lose.
It's just
quote, unquote.
annoying.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, fair enough.
But that was that specific brand of
encounter.
ad.
Yeah, all right. All right.
So some, yeah, so. It will be interesting, for example, that one of the phases of a walls were like a lot of enemies rushing to you.
Yeah.
How's that called?
Like a horde mode.
Like a horde mode, yeah. But like really intense, like Warframe intense.
Yeah, Warframe intense. Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Like a flood kind of thing, like a
yeah, but like insane flood. Yeah. With no chokes, because that makes
it easy.
Yeah. And with things like with enemies that you cannot CC because Warframe has a lot of CC.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So that's why.
Or like maybe you can, but it will have diminishing returns.
It has diminishing returns, or I don't know. It's just like that, Warframe has so much CC that it's hard to tell what things work or not.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It has so many abilities in the game. The Warframes have so many abilities that it's hard to tell sometimes.
It's interesting to think about, anyways.
Oh, it seems, but it's super hard to assign a big encounter. Warframe needs it. It definitely needs it. But
it would be fantastic if he had it. But wait,
they have said that they are working on bringing back
the old raid.
Yeah, the old trials.
The old trial thing. All right, fair enough. Anyways, but I think our lesson is like, first, designing for a raid encounter is hard. Second, I think you need, in some games, more of that individual feeling in the raid.
Yeah. Maybe Destiny has it. It telegraphs it poorly.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, that too. That could be it.
It could be. I don't have that much experience, but it could be just that it doesn't. Whatever it tells you is not giving you enough information to gauge your own progress.
Yeah.
Well, WoW does a really good job at that.
Correct. Yeah, correct. And our next point is experiment and fail a lot. Take what's good and leave the rest behind. And I bring this on par because WoW has gone through so many systems. So many systems. And like I will encourage all the games that are go in long runs to do this, to experiment with your systems and then take what really works and keep it in the game, right? One game that does this as much as WoW does it is Path of Exile.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and it's fantastic because you grow your game slowly, you keep what is good, what people love, and people can come back to it. I think that's my point from that.
Yeah, that's definitely important.
Yeah. And finally, to close this deep dive, all content with purpose and archive kind of content. So I like the way that WoW does this. And we were talking about last time of like, oh, what happened with this old content and these all
Yeah.
expansions and all raids and blah blah blah. And the way first for the lore, but second because the cosmetics are still a good reward for doing this content, right?
Yep.
So whatever you decide to archive your content or just keep it uh,
Maintain it.
updated, yeah, maintain it, please have good incentive to go back to it. Like you and I have no incentive to go back to any of the old content of Destiny 2, for example.
Yeah.
There's no reason for us,
Yeah,
right?
there is no reason whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah? So it's a waste of content, right?
It's a waste of effort from the developer team.
Correct. They have these beautiful like design levels and planets, and we have little to no reason to come back to them. We end up being
Yes.
we end up just taking the playlist and go and do the dungeons, the nightfalls, and those are very places. But you have these big planets.
Even the nightfalls, I feel like are a good thing because they're like all dungeons.
Yes,
They're just like keep up to pace.
yes.
So you still get to visit like all
Pieces of lore,
dungeons
and
in
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
yeah. Even if that level, but I think you should always keep your old content, even archive or current, with an incentive. All your content, as minimal as it is, to go and revisit.
Yeah, that's something that, for example, Warframe has struggled with
Yeah.
actually quite a lot.
Yes,
How to
absolutely.
keep all their tile sets somewhat relevant.
Yeah.
And that's why like a lot of people praise the Nightwave
Correct.
and actually the Kua Leeches as well.
Correct. So yeah. So
Because they
please,
invade all sectors of the solar system and you have to go to those and do high level missions on those old tile sets, and
correct.
it just feels nice after a while to revisit the old missions
Correct. Yeah. But
with new purpose.
I bring it in this as a WoW because it's been the most simplistic and effective way of doing it. Right?
I agree with that.
Right?
It is just,
And that's why. And that's why I bring
yeah.
it here, right? It's a lesson that you should learn, right? I find it endearing that it's like
It
it
is an easy way, but again, it only works for games that manage archive content. Like wow,
Yeah, but with the edge of like live services and that stuff, like it's more relevant. But and if you want to do a high,
it is more relevant.
yeah,
But to be fair, I don't know how many games take the WoW approach to all content.
yeah, that is super weird. But it's still
It
they should learn
is.
about it.
It is. They should. It is, but I feel like
It is unique, but the lesson
it is
is
not
not.
only unique. It is a relic of the past. To be
Yes,
fair.
but the lesson is not. The lesson is not doing like them. Is
Yeah,
keep it relevant.
be mindful of your own content.
They got it easy, but still.
Be mindful of your own all content. That I agree with you.
Yeah,
But
correct.
yeah, I think the WoW approach is more of a thing of of the past than actually.
Of like a ride of his legacy, something like that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the old guy sitting in the couch, just let it have it.
Yeah.
Fine, grandpa.
Yeah. All right. And with that, we finish our lessons on the industry that you have learned from World of Warcraft current.
Yep.
And with that, we move to our audience of questions and feedback. Remember, if you want to write us down to an email, to a feedback for Twitter, you can pass by my stream and ask questions there. I will pick it up and answer here on the podcast. You can leave it on comments on YouTube if you're watching us on YouTube, and you can leave it on comments on Twitter if you are hearing on your favorite hearing device. So, first question of the last podcast where we spoke about the critique of Warframe is: What is the best way to deliver side lore content without spending too much resources into it?
Voice acting.
Voice acting? Just straight voice acting. Just great voice acting.
I think these things live in a spectrum between pure text,
Yeah. Yes.
full-blown CG cinematic,
Correct. Yeah.
and like, okay, the full CG cinematic that is a showcase piece of art.
Yeah.
That's a lot of resources that are going to go into that, and a lot of time,
Correct.
and it's expensive.
Correct.
The
Text.
Just put text on a lore book in a corner of the game.
Yeah.
Sure, that's efficient, but most people are not gonna read it because
or we end up in a Destiny-like situation where you absorb that lore through somebody else doing videos and narrating the actual lore hidden in those texts.
Sure, but we're talking about in-game delivery.
Yeah, you were talking about
if,
in-game. I'm getting an
if
example.
if it is if it is a vault of text in the game, most people are not gonna read it.
Yeah, correct.
So you have to strike a balance, and I feel like voice acting is like listening to a podcast on an audiobook.
Yes.
It's engaging enough so that people will pay some attention to it.
Yes.
But still, you don't have to deal with the like animating, which is expensive and time consuming, or rendering, pre-render CGI or stuff like that.
Correct.
And with a good voice actor and a good script, it can go a long way, I think.
And I will give you the perfect example of this being so good and why people love so much this trilogy and the Mass Effect games. Right?
Sure, yeah.
The first Mass Effect, every single text of lore has a voice acting. In any part of the game. So if you enter to a place and there is a piece of text that is explaining something, they will narrate it to you. And since then, I haven't seen anything like it. Like that was the first time that I saw it in a game, in a heavy narrative game, and that made the game so much like heaps and heaps richer to me, right? Just the simple fact of you open a text of lore and they will narrate it to you in a compelling way. So I absolutely 100% agree with you, and there is examples in the industry, and I don't know why they stopped doing it.
It's probably expensive as well. Like it's probably not super cheap to hire that many hours of a voice actor.
Yeah, voice acting. That is true.
And then of course you have to pay like you have to process the
audio, etc.
Yeah, and it probably makes also games
heavier. Yeah,
because all that sound.
But it still
takes space.
I wish for it. Every time I open a lore tab with text, I wish for it so hard. That the text will start reading to me. Oh man.
I think a good script and decent voice acting goes a long way.
Yeah.
I really do think so.
But please,
and I mean you have to. You cannot get it for free.
That is correct. Yeah.
So you have to spend some resources.
But I will say, please, developer, if you have a heart, you can do this. Your game will be 1,000 times better for it.
It will at least engage people more than just having walls of text to read.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, and the example is like, apparently Skyrim has like this insanely rich lore in their books, but I've never read a fucking Skyrim book.
Yeah.
For example. So it's all this like lore waste because you haven't found a correct way to engage into a player.
Yeah, you know who does it a little bit more these days is WoW compared to the older quest. Like at least the main quest will have a lot of
we have a lot
voice acting in it.
Yes, that is true. Yeah,
if not, maybe not. It is in game, and you just see the bubble pop up over the heads.
Yeah,
but it's voice acted.
Correct.
That makes I'm perfectly fine with that kind of approach.
Yeah, and it's like 1,000 times more engaging.
Oh, it definitely is. Just hearing the people Yeah, but again, probably if your game has a huge cast, you have to hire a lot of voice actors.
In my Mass Effect example, it was just one narrator, right? It was just reading to you. It was the simplest thing, right? That's what I mean. It makes it so much
Yeah,
better, right?
yeah. I don't like the narrator approach, but yeah, that's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's better. Exactly the point. And like sometimes they had like little music behind, but it was like the music that it was already done for the game, right? And that was it. That was
Oh
the
yeah, no,
extent of it.
I'm pretty sure the sound designers can make do with the game the in-game music
Yeah,
to
in a
to
narrator.
ambient those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the second question of our burning audience is Warframe pay to win? Is it?
Yes.
Yes, it's Lucho. You can you buy power? I think the answer is yes. It's clearly yes.
I mean, you can buy power
Yes.
because you can buy forma and you can buy the potatoes.
And you can buy the frames, the prime frames.
You can buy the prime frames. The problem is that the frame and the weapons on themselves are not powerful, really.
Yeah, or yeah. There is a good argument of like prime frames being a little bit more powerful than
Yeah,
normal.
but like if you throw a prime frame and a normal frame side by side with no mods, they do basically nothing.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
So
yeah,
the real power of the game comes from the modding system,
yeah.
and you cannot buy those.
No, you cannot buy mods. You can buy packets still. You still buy packets?
Yeah, I mean you can buy mods, like you can trade them with other people for
Ah, yeah,
platinum,
yeah. For money, yeah, for platinum.
but that's. But again, the game throws so many at you that it's such an inefficient way to play the game to buy the
Correct.
mods.
Yeah.
There are some that are like worth paying. Oh, you know what sense with ribbons maybe,
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
but the ones that are good are so expensive that it's really not
Not
worth
worth it.
it.
Yeah.
Like I don't believe, like if you go to Warframe Market and look for a, I don't know, Tigris Prime
Yeah.
ribbon, they sell for like 10,000 platinum.
Jesus. Okay. That
People
in
are
real.
not wasting that amount of
How much is
platinum.
that in real money? $100, I
Uh,
think.
oh, I don't know. Let's see how much. Let's do some simple math.
Yeah.
I think for $5 you
It's hundred
get
thousand platinum. No,
1,000 platinum.
1,000 platinum. I think that is. Go to Warframe
Let's go to
Market.
the store.
Yeah, go to the store. We do research and answer your burning questions here in the podcast.
Oh,
Live.
can you go there? I don't know why my thing is not working.
What? You cannot go to the store of Warframe?
Yeah,
All right, let's look.
I cannot go to Google for some reason.
What?
Yes, I know.
I
My
will search
internet
it.
is down.
Your internet is down and you're still speaking with me on Discord, of course.
I know.
10,000 platinum. Wait, what?
No, go to a Warframe page
Yeah, buy
and
platinum. I want to buy platinum. All right, 75 platinum is. They showing me in Colombia money for
okay.
some reason. I don't know why. How do you know that I'm in
Because it
Colombia?
detects the thingy. Let me.
Is 10,000 Colombian pesos for 75 platinum.
How much is that in things? Okay, so $5 or 75 platinum.
All right, $5 for 75. Wow, so platinum in Colombian pesos is so much cheaper.
Probably
Yeah, it's like because it's $5, right?
$5, 75 platinum.
75 platinum. That would be in Colombian pesos. That would be
15,000.
15,000 Colombian pesos, and they're selling me for 10,000. So
Yeah.
they're giving me better deals. Nice. They are now regional sales, which is cool. Thank you, Warframe. You're an adorable company.
Yeah, usually it is cheaper. For most places, it is cheaper to get regional prices than just straight up conversion of USD.
So you tell me, like, how much it cost the ribbon? 10,000 platinum?
Something like I've seen some selling for that.
10,000 platinum is like how many dollars?
Okay, so let's divide 75. Let's divide 75 in 5. How much is for one platinum? Yeah, 75 divided 5.
All right.
Divided 5. That's 15.
Cents? 15
Yeah,
cents?
$1 gives you $1 gives you 15 platinum.
All right.
So 10,000 divided by 15.
Yeah.
Oh, I need another 0. So $670 or something like that.
For a ribbon, Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah, like
ridiculous.
$600.
What?
$600.
$600. Cheap.
Yeah, no.
So is Warframe pay to win?
No, it's not pay to win at all.
It's clearly pay to win.
No,
How are you gonna win in Warframe to start with?
I mean, if Fashion Frame is the end game, then yes.
Yeah, yes. Is that how you win in Warframe? Fashion Frame?
That's how you win. Pink Rhino, that's the win.
So definitely not. Definitely the
No,
answer is
like
no.
you cannot. I mean, you
can buy a lot
technically
of
can buy
things.
power, but
Yeah.
it's really not a thing
Yeah.
for the most part. So
Yeah.
So no, it is not.
It is not. And I think that's it.
That's
ladies and
it.
gentlemen.
That's all for this week's episode. Once again, thanks for tuning into A Sweaty Farmer and the Game Design. My name is Lucho, and you can find me on Twitter at Luis G. Polanco.
And I am the Lone Name Gamer. You can find me on Twitter at the Lone Name Gamer and on Twitch on twitch.tv/Lone Name Gamer TV, where I stream Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave us a like in Spotify and Apple. I don't know if Apple has a like. Leave us heart stars and follows. What are the other things? There's so many things that you can do to help the podcast. Subscriptions, kisses, whatever you want to do. To the Sweaty, the Farmer, and the Game Design. See you next time.
Bye.
And did you know bananas make great conditioners that help restore dry, damaged hair? Mash a banana, add a tablespoon of heavy cream and a tablespoon of honey to the mixture. Don't go close end heels, please. Then apply it to dry hair. Cover your hair with a shower cap and then wrap your hair in a warm towel. You're in conditioner of a dessert. Leave it up for an hour and then rinse thoroughly with warm water before shampooing. Oh my god.
Sounds like a banana split.
Yes. Your hair.
Bananas are great pre-workout snacks because they are loaded with potassium that aids in maintaining nerve and muscle functioning during workouts. And humans share out 50% of our DNAs with bananas.
That's the worst thing. Are we banana people?
We're 50% banana people.
Or maybe because apes ate so many bananas.
I don't think that's how DNA is.
The DNA in some way, shape, or form. You know the saying. You know the saying that you are what you eat? There you go.
That's not how DNA works.
Of course, I am part rice and tomatoes.
Yeah.